What up? Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Enough Said podcast. So we are in season 5. It's episode 10, believe it or not, gentlemen. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. We got Eagles. How about them Cowboys? We got trade deadlines. We got McCaffrey coming back, which I know Mike's excited about. Maybe Nico Collins as well. We'll see. Lots of good stuff for week 10. Dre, let's get it on. All right. What up?
What's up, everybody?
Let's do it.
Another week.
Another week in the books, man. And Eagles got 2 games in what, 4 or 5 days here? 4 or 5 days. So
yeah, they played Thursday night, right?
Yep.
Big one. Which
big
I don't
one
think
Thursday
when they
night?
made a schedule, I don't think anyone thought it was going to be the big one. But Amazon's leapt up this year. They've had some pretty good matchups.
Well, nobody, Washington. I mean, if you say big game, Washington's making it interesting. So
Yeah.
for that Thursday night game, so that's going to be the battle of the division, of the number one division, number one seed in that division.
Can't believe you're saying that, right?
Right.
all these years, you can't believe you're saying that. I think that's like it's been like 10 years, maybe 11, 12 years since that's been the conversation that they were the first place team in the division. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then on the opposite side, we got the coffin game in Germany right now. If anybody cares, Carolina and the Giants. We'll see if what's going on with that one, man. That's Jesus.
Carolina job killers. I'm telling you, the Saints fired their coach after they lost to them, and then if the Giants lose, I got a feeling they might fire their coach. So Carolina might be job killers the rest of the season. Anybody that loses to them, they're getting fired.
Yeah, you don't know. All right. Well, I was going to save these introductions for when Jermaine was here, but I'm going to roll them out anyway. So, Jermaine, sorry, I'll save yours for next week then. This guy, his team's season has been kind of tacky, but it gets a lot better today with its return of Christian McCaffrey. What up, Mike?
I hope so, boy. What's up, man? I'm looking forward to the day. They got a tough schedule, man. They got some pretty tough teams to play, so they got to get it right, or, KD, who said my team wasn't going anywhere this season, he's going to be right. So we'll see how it happens.
All right. And this other guy, he watches football, does not care to see the Swiftie. Maybe it's because he's not Gen Z and is turning 50. What up, Dre?
What's up, man? Wow.
It's 5-0, half a century.
Yeah, it's about to roll down the hill, not top the hill. And why not? I'm falling down the steps, so it's all working out great.
Yeah, happy early birthday to Dre.
Thank you.
So, the 18th, right?
The 18th, man.
The 18th. Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully, Eagles get a win Thursday night, and
yep,
get a win today.
Awesome.
So, yeah, man.
That's
cool. Looking forward to it.
That's good stuff. Nah, definitely happy birthday, man. So many more. And so it's been a long time, man. We celebrated together since you were like, what, 12, 13?
I think so.
It's been a long time, man. What up, have jumped in here, wishing you happy 50 as well. All right, so let's get into it, guys. Lots going on. Let's start with Mike today, guys. The Niners, it's going to be interesting. You got Debo, who's doing this thing again. I don't know if I'm hurt. I'm not hurt. I don't know what he's doing. Christian McCaffrey will start to open things up for him a little bit. But, you also got a pretty good running back behind McCaffrey, too. So, I mean, what's the snap count going to be like? What is this going to look like? You think it's going to be a 50-50 split this week so McCaffrey gets in? And you got also Jennings coming back. So there's a lot going on, man.
I think a lot of it would be dictated by how the game goes. If it's one of those games, in a lot of ways, this is a must-win game. I mean, I think most of the games the rest of the season are must-win, but this is one of those, tone-setting kind of games. So if it's close and they really need McCaffrey as much as possible, I think then they're probably going to run him as much as possible. If it looks pretty comfortable that they can, offset him with Jordan Mason and Isaac Arundo, and passing game is looking good, and the defense is shutting down Baker, and everything's a comfortable thing, then I think they'll arrest him. So I think it's going to be a game time decision. It's going to be dictated by how the game goes.
Yeah, I think like you said, they're learning to live without him a little bit. Debo has kind of been all over the place. What do we expect from him today? I mean, is he going to help this team out or what?
Debo's gonna be Debo. I mean, you know how he is, man. I hope he can stay healthy.
Yeah,
He's
never healthy.
Never healthy. So
it never.
it is, and though, but with CMC, for me, viewing what's going on with him, I think it's like the back of his mind is retirement. Because he has some serious issues with his calves, his knees. I think. I think he mentioned arthritis as well.
Yeah, so tendonitis. Yeah.
Tendonitis. Excuse me, tendonitis. So I'm just not sure how much he's going to play. Rest of his. This might be his end of his career, unfortunately.
I think a lot depends on the conditioning and like what did they do to get him ready to play this season. Because he did some kind of experimental treatment to get ready for the season. So I don't know what he did, what they did to him. He might be the bionic man. It's like watching Derrick Henry out there. You just kind of like, how's this guy keep going at his age, running as violent as he has.
Exactly.
And he just keeps going and going and going. So I'm hoping McCaffrey just had to recharge a little bit, and he's got at least another 2 years or so in him. But I guess we'll see today how he looks. It'll be telling if he's hit that wall or not.
His father wasn't injury prone, right? I mean, his father was
not that I recall. No,
not to recall. I'm just saying genetics. I'm going back to the whole thing and stuff. And like, was his dad have any problems with knees or whatever? I mean, his dad wasn't a running back, but I'm just saying, still, just being wear and tear every day for the NFL player, and then how much does that genetics or pass down to his son? So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Damn, have calling you out. Debo looking flabby, he says, man. He's sick out there.
Yeah, which is crazy because in the offseason, seeing how much Debo worked, I had picked him. I thought he was going to have a stellar year. I mean, he just looked like he had a renewed focus. Like all that talk about Ayuk getting the contract and him being trade bait and all that kind of stuff. And I thought Debo just looked like he wanted to prove something. Go back to that 2021 year, Debo, where Debo does it all. And he's had flashes, but he's getting hurt, and and he's healthy at the beginning of the game, and he gets hit, and he gets like hurt. His back is hurting, or his leg is hurting. He's got to take a play off. It just always seems like he's got an ailment, man. It's just it's frustrating.
Any update on Greenlaw? Is he practicing yet? Not practicing?
Not yet, but his window I think is opening soon. So I think by the end of this month, there's a possibility Greenlaw could be back. Now, which version of Greenlaw will be back? We don't know. Can you rush these guys back, and they still don't have their feet underneath them for another couple of months before they're back to the normal self. So we'll see.
Now, real quick, Mike. So fantasy football, I have San Fran's defense, and I had Kansas City. Kansas City played Tampa last week. Should I put in San Fran against Tampa, or just keep Kansas City? You know what I mean? Like,
Kansas City playing the Broncos, man. I think you got to go with Kansas City.
Exactly right.
I mean, you're talking about an offense that would put up. How many points they put up against the Ravens? 3.
Exactly, man.
It was some ridiculously low number. And you saw what happened to the Ravens when they played the Bengals, man. They gave up like 100 points, it seemed like. It's still
yeah. I mean, San Fran's defense always give me about 10 points, a little, like they get the sacks, they get the interceptions, but the score, they can't keep the score down, So
I guess it depends on our league. If you get points, like San Fran does get turnovers. I don't think Kansas City really gets a lot of turnovers, but don't give up a lot of points. If we don't get, I have to look at our league. If we get punished for how many points you give up, then I would go with Kansas City. If it doesn't have that much of a weight and things like turnovers and stuff like that, then San Fran is probably more opportunity that way.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting because I think we do get points for negative points for. Although I'll tell you, Minnesota still gets a lot of points, even though they're negative points. So they give up a lot of points, but Minnesota gets a lot of sacks and turnovers. So it's
right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If the weighting of giving up points doesn't weigh that much. Like I think he started out with 20 points on defense or something like that, and then it just kind of goes down as you give up points. But you know, I don't know if anyone's got a negative defense this year. You know, the way his scoring is, I don't think anyone's going negative no matter how many points you give up.
Right.
Yeah. Let's talk about injuries coming back. Nico Collins is also coming back today. Stroud guy is not quite what we thought this season. He was doing great with Nico Collins in there. It'll be interesting to see with Diggs, because maybe Diggs opened things up for Nico a little bit. And now Dell is questionable. Nico is still questionable tonight. So I'm not going to activate him, I don't think, off the IR yet. And then my Dre London trade doesn't go through, thanks to Hef, until next week. So yeah, I might just keep London in there today. But yeah, guys, it's interesting. Nico, he might be on a snap count, but what's going on, Dre, especially this year with Stroud? Like, is he rely on Nico that much? Is he just having a little bit of a sophomore slump? What's going on there?
Well, he don't have the receivers like he had. I mean, you know, from the beginning of the season, he was struggling, even though before Rice got hurt. And what's the name has been actually not doing well as well, Kelsey. And then you had Juju Smith-Schuster as well. I think I'm sorry, I'm thinking Kansas City.
I was going to say, I was like, wait,
I'm talking Kansas City. And
he turned 50 early.
I turned 50 early. See, it's already happening.
I'm talking about Houston, man. I'm talking about Joe Nixon.
Ryans and all that. Sorry,
you got the running back Nixon there.
Yeah,
Come on,
I had it all wrong. So anyway. No. Stroud, sophomore slump. Well, there's like Jermaine said the other week, the tape is out on him, right? So defenses have figured him out, right? And then, receivers, Tank Dell, Nico, Mixon was hurt in the beginning of the season. Mixon mixed out like 3 games, right?
Yeah, and your boy Diggs, who didn't do anything.
And of course, Diggs didn't do anything. But then I noticed like last week, he's hesitating because the offensive line is not that great either.
Yeah.
You know, remember, guy, I don't know what it was last season, but the offensive line was a little bit better. And then Stroud was actually not hesitating. He would just hit the marks with the receivers and stuff. The tight end Schultz, he's not really been doing that great either. He's kind of quiet. Yeah. You know. I just think I guess we could say that sophomore slump, but the tape is out on him another year. People, defenses are figuring him out and stuff. So I think he just has to be a little bit. I don't know, man. It's tough. Like that offensive line, I just keep picturing in my head how he just could not get any time.
Yeah. The offensive line has been a challenge this year, and it's weird because the same people that was on his line last year are back this year. So it's something that's not right with them communicating, and he's getting pressured. You know, I heard again some number like he's 50% of his snaps he's getting pressured, and if someone's in your face hitting you, sacking you, whatever it takes, it's going to wear on you. And I think you're starting to see the impact of that. Just as the mechanics, his footwork and stuff, how he's throwing the ball. You know, there's just he's overthrowing guys that are open because guys in his face. I think the problem is I'm not sure they can figure out how to fix that during the season. You know, it's one of those things that some teams can adjust their offense, or find a way to mix in the run game a little bit more, or do something to offset that pressure that keeps coming. But I don't think they've been able to figure that out. And they look like a team that we all thought at the beginning of the season, like, oh, Houston would challenge Kansas City for the AFC title, or they're going to go deep in the playoffs. But they're looking like a team that will probably win the division and get bounced out the first week.
Yeah.
Well, Dre, since you brought up the Chiefs, let's talk about them a little bit. So
I fell down the steps, hit my head. So.
So Mahomes says, well, DeAndre Hopkins is only going to get better. Is there anybody? They're 7-0. They're going to have Pacheco coming back. He's going to start practicing in 2 to 3 weeks. They still have Kareem Hunt. Is anybody going to beat this team and challenge them? I mean, is this can Detroit give them a sweat? What?
I think Detroit can. I'm going through the games right now in my head, And that Tampa Bay game last week, that was not an easy win, you know. And Moore was relying on Patrick Mahomes actually in that game, because the defenses were actually slowing down pretty much everything, like the run and stuff. So he had to keep scrambling, moving around. I'm trying to think of other games that were close. The Kansas City had. Well, first of all, their division is weak. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Oakland. I mean, sorry, Nevada, Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Those guys are in that division. I think it's kind of weak.
Yeah.
They're just winning. I think it's actually behind coaching. Andy Reid's coaching, I think, is which is making it great. How they just keep winning, honestly.
Mike, can their defense hold up though against Kansas or against teams like Detroit, or even if the Eagles wake up? Now, look, I'm not saying the Eagles. The Eagles, look, they beat the Giants, right? And they beat the Jags, two teams who were not very, very good, but they did beat them. But can they hold them? I mean, can their defense? There is some weak spots on Kansas City's defense.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, like a prize fight, and you just got to take it to the champ, and you got to keep hitting them and hitting them and hitting them. And it seems like teams get an early punch in, like they'll land that haymaker, and then they don't keep laying on them, and then the Chiefs eventually just start wearing you out. It's like they're constantly doing body blows while you're still trying to throw haymakers and missing. That's kind of how the Tampa Bay game felt. Like they had the haymakers early, and then all of a sudden they had a chance to go up by 2 touchdowns and something like that, and then they didn't, and it just kind of slowly wore away. I don't know who's going to beat them, because they keep finding a way to get teams kind of to beat themselves. It's almost like they take your fist and almost make you punch in your face kind of thing, And it's like, how do you stop them from doing that? I think Detroit possibly could do it, but they're so great at adjustments. I think Hefner said it before. It's like the adjustments that Kansas City makes. They see how it goes. They know they're down in the game or they're up a little bit. In that second half, they just start changing stuff, and they just seem to figure stuff out. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, picking up Hunt, the number one receiver. What's his name?
Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins.
No, not Hopkins. Where's number one? On his jersey.
Well, yeah, Worthy.
Yeah. Him, he stepped up. Then Hopkins came in, right? That was a plus. And then like Kelsey's trying to show a little bit of rejuvenation himself. So like these pieces that they put in, it's almost like playing fantasy football. They look up like, dang, we're down in receivers. Who can we get? And we're a running back. Checo is out. We got to find somebody. Oh, look, Hunt's available. Let's take Hunt. Like that's all the brilliance behind Andy Reid, honestly. Like he knows what pieces he needs to fill in, and then they get it done. And then even Patrick Mahomes said in the beginning of the season, I have to step up my game. I'm not really there, trying to figure it out. So whatever internal is going on with him, and I think he's slowly starting to come around. I think he's going to be more explosive towards the end of the season, and then taking him into the playoffs and probably another ring dynasty, man. I mean,
yeah,
that's the thing that's scary. Right? Just like last year, they started turning it on at the time where you're just kind of like, oh, great, here we go. They were lumbering and sluggish most of the season last year. And everyone's like, this is it. They're done. They don't have this. They don't have that. And they take down some good teams.
Right.
Could they be undefeated this year?
Never hear the end of it if they go undefeated.
Well, Miami's gonna come up in there just like they did with New England. All the old Miami players saying, "No, we still got the undefeated record. Nobody can beat us." All those old Miami players will show up.
Or the other thing you said, Dre, and the Bengals all of a sudden, who had his number, who had the Chiefs' number, are playing better. I mean, you saw, what did Burrow get? Like 47 fantasy points this week? It was ridiculous. I mean,
right. Well, Mike's not going to like me, but defense, I'm sorry. Ravens still have not fixed their issue. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, they got the running game, great. But to me, that game was going to be a barn burner because neither defenses showed up. And neither defenses are actually good in the air. So I don't know if the Bengals are back yet. They weren't tested by the Ravens. Well,
I don't think the Bengals are back. I mean, they're 2-6, 3-6.
Yeah, hanging up.
I mean, right now they might be the best team not to get in the playoffs. That team that's just always scared to see because of how powerful their offense is. But they got started a little too late, as usual. right?
Yep.
We've talked about this, I don't know, the last 4 years. The Bengals start slow. Bengals start slow. Here they go again, starting slow. And by the time they get going, it might be too late. I mean, that division is pretty good, man. Pittsburgh, we'll see today what Pittsburgh's made of, but Pittsburgh can keep up with Baltimore. The Bengals, it's just tad too late, man.
Yep.
Yeah. How about them Cowboys?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
We got Dak is done. And the Eagles play him this week. Does Jerry Jones give him a mulligan, guys? I mean, this is like, all right, now Dak's out, but I don't know that this guy stays coach next year. I just don't see it.
Some of them, Mike
McCarthy. Yeah, McCarthy.
Well,
I just
no. I think McCarthy's out, man. I just think they're going to need a fresh voice, and I think you're going to see how the season ends to kind of prove that. It can start today. I think depending on what team shows up to the Eagles, even with getting Michael Parsons back, if this team looks like trash, making mental mistakes, pre-snap penalties and all that kind of other garbage that they had last week. I mean, they had all kinds of boneheaded plays that they did. So that happens again today. I don't know how Jerry can stick with Mike McCarthy at the end of the season. I don't think he'll fire him mid-season or, before the season over, but I think at the end of the season, he's going to make a change.
I think if they lose today, the defensive coordinator is gone today. I mean, that's what I think. But the whole Dak situation, man, I mean, $231 million guaranteed, right? And he said a signing bonus of $74 million. I'm sorry, guys. I was tweeting y'all and everything. He got his money. He's out. He's done. And why not? I mean, he knows the team ain't going nowhere. He pulls up this hamstring thing. Tell me the hamstring is torn or whatever. I don't buy it, but honestly, I don't. I just think that he's done. He's ready to move on, and he got his money. That's it.
I know what Mike's answer to this is, though. Is it Trey Lance time?
Yeah, I don't. I saw my message on it in the text and stuff, but I don't understand. They traded San Francisco. I want to say they gave like a 5th round, or it was a trade for like a 5th round, something like that. And so you gave up the pick for him, and then you're gonna just have him be the number 3 pick for like God knows how long. It's our number 3 quarterback. It's like, play the kid, man. He was the number 1 overall draft choice. See what you got. So, especially you got nothing left to lose. I mean, if this season is going in the toilet, play Trey Lance and see what you have. Seriously, see what you got. If he's even decent, like if he looks pretty decent, I mean, you could trade him and get back your draft pick, or even something higher in return. So you gave up a 5th for him, and then you get back a 4th or a 3rd if he's any good. But you don't know that if he's going to be the number 3 quarterback just sitting around reading the playbook and, holding the chart. Come on, man. Do something.
If you can't beat out Cooper Rush, I mean, not that Cooper Rush is bad, but, come on. I mean, Cooper Rush is a career backup. I mean, he'll get you through a couple games, but...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're not going anywhere, Cooper Rush. I mean, Cooper's not going to jump in and do a Brock Purdy, kind of deal where it's kind of like, oh my God, where's this guy been sitting my whole life? It makes no sense. But this is the Cowboys, and so far everything they've done this season has made no sense. So.
Nope.
Jerry said they're all in. Well, here we go.
All in the coffin.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And how long until Lamb gets frustrated and is like, man, somebody get me out of here? Is he going to start squawking soon?
Yeah. Even though he got money, you kind of
he got money. Yeah.
Like Devontae Adams is like, dude, you got money. You still crying and whatnot. Life sucks in Vegas. You go to the Jets, and, you get yelled at by Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Cowboys, man, they're done, and they screwed up, and there's nothing else. I'm not exhausted. I'm exhausted about them. So,
what about Michelle? Is she done?
Oh man, yeah. She said never had a good quarterback since Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
Troy Aikman. She said she didn't. Romo wasn't the answer. And I was trying to ask in the chat earlier. I said, if you look at Dak and Romo, who was the better player? And I asked Michelle, she said neither one of them. She said she always remembers that Seattle play when he used the holder.
Oh, the fumble.
The fumble. And Michelle said, nope. Our team is never going anywhere.
Yeah,
man.
It's balance. They've always had pieces. Like Romo's had Des Bryant and some other star receivers, but it just seems never to click when it needs to at the right time. It's always just guys not showing up when you need them to show up. It seems like with that team. Like always were great in the regular season. Even the last 3 years, they were 12-4 or 12-5. They had a pretty strong record. But when you needed it most in the playoffs, for them to click and actually carry that momentum in, I don't know. It's like guys don't step up.
Yeah. Giants did score, guys. Just I got an alert, so it's 10-7 now. So Giants just behind. Looks like Tracy might have went in. I saw his points go up. So
look, if you got your points,
yeah, from Tracy. But I don't know, guys. The Giants, we'll see. They're still down by 3 here, but yeah, let's see what happens with Dallas this week. It's going to be interesting to see how much patience Jerry has. I don't think he's going to have much. Does he make the change now? I don't know if there's any benefit to that. Who's out there right now that's going to make that big of a difference this season? Right. Or does he just wait? I don't know. If he wants Belichick and he wants to get a jump on him, who knows?
Maybe Dallas fans are going to just sit there today.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what's going. They're at this, it's at Dallas. They're gonna be sitting there like this, like,
yeah,
what's going to happen? I don't know.
Did we hear from?
It's going to be so Zeke? Quiet.
Yeah, what's up with Zeke? Is he playing? Not playing? Like what? What is his deal?
They didn't say what he did wrong. I don't know what happened with him.
Yeah,
they didn't make the trip last time. They just, I don't know. Maybe he snuck off to Cabo again or something.
Yeah. So what do they got? Cook? Is that what they got now? Did they sign him?
Cook and the other kid who was running pretty decent. Not Randall. Maybe it is Randall.
I think
it's a young kid they have that's actually been running pretty hard. It's just too much. It's just too much that they have that's just not there. The offensive line's just not playing up to par, so they can run, but they can't run as effective as they want to. They can't pass block as much as effective they want to. It's just ain't put together right.
Yeah, they lose today. That's it. Close the coffin.
So. Yeah. I know we get ready for a draft pick. Yeah. All right. Let's get into some of the games today, some of the predictions. So we got the first one here. It is the Jets, Jets at Arizona, guys. Dre, your boy Marvin Harrison, kind of quiet. What's going to happen today?
I'm making a bold prediction. Just like in the week 2, was it week 2? He went off like 200-something yards, right?
Yeah.
He's going to have another 20-yard game today. I think Kyle Murray's going to just run around like a nut, like he always does. And he's going to find Marvin Harrison a lot. I'm not into the Jets, man. I just I don't see him winning, man. I mean, Gardner defense. I don't know. I just think Arizona's gonna win this game.
All right, Mike.
Oh, I can't believe I'm going to say this.
Arizona.
I think the Jets are going to do it.
Wow.
I think the Jets. Not saying they saved their season at all, but that Garrett Wilson pass seemed to just got something going with them. That catch, I think, just gave them some kind of hope that I think is going to carry them, maybe not to the playoffs, but to just play better and maybe win a couple games, just to have a strong showing. Arizona's defense still isn't exactly fixed. Kyler Murray, even though he's had some decent games, he really hasn't been throwing the ball a lot. They just kind of been opportunistic because of their run game or turnovers that's given the short fields and stuff like that. So I don't think Arizona's really necessarily a good team, and I think the Jets have an opportunity to beat them. So I'm going to take the Jets.
All right. I am going to jump out the window with Mike. I'm going with the Jets. I just don't see Arizona having that spark yet. I agree. Wilson, if Aaron Rodgers actually focuses on Wilson instead of every single play trying to get Devontae Adams the ball, and I think the Jets are a more dangerous offense. If they can get Breece Hall involved and he's actually running the game and running the ball efficiently, that's going to open up the passing game more. So Breece Hall's got to have a big day. I think start looking at the whole field, not just Devontae Adams, and get these guys open because there are guys that are open, and get the Jets defense playing like we thought they were. You know, these guys, they had a decent defense. Reddick actually has been playing pretty decent. He's gotten some pressure. So let's see what they can do today. But I do think the Jets can pull this one out in the end.
Yeah.
And
Jets are 29th in stopping the run.
Yeah.
And Connor is 5th. They're 5th in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm saying, like, you run the ball to get the passing game going, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. It just, the Jets right now, their schedule really favors them very well. You know, that this might be one of their toughest games coming up for the rest of the season. I don't think they play really but anybody else that's really of a strong contender. Maybe the Bills, I think they play again, but they've kind of gone through the rough patch, you know, and it was rough. Don't get me wrong.
San Fran wasn't a tough game. I mean, San Fran's not up to par to you, because Arizona
was a tough
beat them.
game. Yeah. Arizona, you know, San Fran beat themselves in that game. I mean, that was come on, man. They were up by 2 touchdowns. That won't happen the next time they play each other for sure. San Fran gonna beat the mess out of them. But
yeah.
So what we got next?
Right, move on, Dre.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I'm glad to see our chats working. Thanks, guys, for hanging in there. There were some issues with restreaming the chat, so they're starting to come through now. So hopefully they'll continue to. A couple of things from Hefty. Yeah, the Jets are in a series that ends when the playoffs start. Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah, Washington beat Arizona. True.
Washington out of them.
Yeah,
you know, Washington was actually a good team.
Knocked them silly.
Very consistent. So.
You know, it's interesting. When I traded with Hef, I purposely threw, you know, Robinson Jr. in the trade because I thought Hef would want him, and he was like, "Nope, I don't want him. I'll take Cook, and I'll take Drake London for St. Brown." So I was like, "All right, he doesn't want. I thought he wanted his boy up there in Washington. There, Hef. All right, you don't want Robinson Jr. I know he's hurt. There's rumors that he could have a bad knee, but they don't know. They're not saying. Or there's also rumors they could just be holding for the Eagles game on Thursday night." Either way, let's get into that Washington game. Pittsburgh at Washington, guys. Pittsburgh Pickens all of a sudden is waking up a little bit. You know what they got at running back. Tomlin somehow makes it tough. He finds a way to get these teams to play. You know, who's going to be the quarterback? It's obviously going to be the man Russell Wilson again. You know, Jermaine's favorite. I don't know, Dre. Who you like in this one?
I like Washington in this one.
All right.
6-2 and 7-2 or something like that, right?
Yeah, that'll be what 7-2.
Washington. I mean, this is going to be a good non-conference game, I think, and I think Washington definitely is going to prove like, hey, because Pittsburgh defense is not bad, man. You got Watts, you know, you know they got some pieces in there. The ranking wise, Washington is ranked second in offense. Why Pittsburgh's 24th in offense, because we still haven't really seen any kind of explosiveness from Russell Wilson or
Pickens.
No, Pickens. What happened to the other guy though?
Fields.
Justin Fields.
Yeah. Well, he's returning punts. Don't worry about that.
He's returning punts. Nah, man. I think Daniels is going to be. It's going to be good. I think Washington it's going to be a good game. And I think Washington defense is going to be tested as well. But to help to basically just keep Russell Wilson or whoever quarterback's behind there, just keep him down. I got Washington in this one.
All right, Mike.
I say by 7.
By 7.
Yeah.
Woo.
I think this is a tough one. You know, both teams in a way, you know, they have great records. You know, a lot of their wins have come against some pretty bad teams. And, you know, you got to beat who's in front of you. But, you know, Washington, you know, they hang with the Ravens. You know, they lost to the Ravens. You know, the Bucks, when they were pretty good, they lost to the Bucks. You know, so I think this is a game where I think the difference is going to be coaching. And I like Dan Quinn. I like what he's doing. I like what they got going on. But I think it's where Tomlin really shows, you know, where his experience and just being Tomlin just comes through, and that they find a way, you know, to win and really show that Pittsburgh is actually probably more for real than what we think. So I'm thinking Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh is going to win this one.
All right. This one is tough. It's at Washington.
Oh, did you pick your win, Sal? Who did you pick?
I'm going to go with Washington on this one as well. I think Washington's going to find a way to bring this one out. The only thing that I'm worried about is that running game of Washington. How much are they going to be able to do with Eckler? I don't know that they're going to be able to do much to keep the ball moving and the chains moving. So if they rely too much on Daniels, it could be a little bit of a train wreck. You don't want to put that much pressure on them, but let's see what happens. I think Washington's defense will be okay against Pittsburgh's offense. I think Washington will have enough in the end to pull this out as long as Daniels doesn't try to do too much and force things, and then Pittsburgh gets a few turnovers. So that's where my head is on that one.
Nice.
All right. Number 3, Detroit at Houston. Woo.
True, man. Whew. Mike, you go first. I got.
All right, Mike to go first on this one. All right, go
Mike,
ahead.
Detroit. Yeah, I'm taking Detroit. I just think now that even bolstered up that defensive line with some more help with Darius Smith coming in, and that offense is just clicking, man. It's disgusting to see because I just can't picture Jared Goff being the picture of a high power offense. But dang, man, it just I mean, the dude be throwing the ball 14 out of 15. He'll miss one pass in the game. I mean, that's crazy. No, Detroit's gonna win this one. I just don't see them losing.
All right,
man. We talked about it earlier about Strauss and how the offensive line is struggling. But they got a run game. They got Mixon. I think Mixon might be the X factor for this game. Detroit is actually in the middle of the rush defense. No. They're actually in the top 5 or 7, actually 7th in the rushing defense. So, it's 13th overall in defense. But then Goff just gets like these spurts where all of a sudden he just gets hot, and it can be going to the receivers, and it's like almost it kind of reminds me of the old school St. Louis Rams, like the turf. You remember how they were called?
Yeah, the greatest show on turf.
The greatest show on turf.
Yeah,
like that's what they're reminding me of. Like that's what Detroit remind me of right now. But D'Amico Ryans, man, defensively, they just got to stop them. Oh man, I'm torn. Like, cause I like Detroit, and I like Houston, and I think Detroit's gonna win this game because Houston has the offensive line problems that Stroud just can't get enough time to figure it out. Even though I did say Mixon was going to be the strong X factor, but it's going to be a close game. But I'll take Detroit.
Yeah, this is a tough one because you don't know if Collins is going to play, and for fantasy owners, it is a headache because he doesn't play till 8:20. And there's not many alternatives out there for Monday night. So it's like, so if you got to activate him and he doesn't play, but I think that's going to be a factor in the game. Like if Collins can play, is he a decoy? Is he actually going to be able to play? Is he going to be on a snap count? I think that's going to be a huge factor. And then again, like you had mentioned, the offensive line, right, Dre? Like, I mean, Detroit's going to bring pressure, right? There's no question, especially with no new hiccups.
Hutchinson is back, right? He played last week.
Hutchinson should be back. Yeah.
So that pass rush from Detroit. Whew.
That's what I mean. So it's going to be tough. I think it's going to wind up being Detroit on this one, guys. And even if Collins does play, I just don't think they're going to have enough quite yet.
No, Hutchinson was out for the season. I thought he even broke his leg.
I thought he.
So they had to draft. They had to bring in. They brought in Darius Smith to bolster that line, and then there is another guy that came back. But nonetheless, they're going to pressure. They're going to pressure. I mean, it's just they got better this week. With the trade deadline and stuff. That's where they were lacking in pass rush.
He is 4 to 6 months. He's out. You are right.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, I thought the bone was poking through the skin when he.
My bad,
terrible.
man. Because in the beginning of the season, Detroit, it's Hutchinson. So I'm thinking Hutchinson's still there. It's like the body snatchers of
Yeah, no, he was having a great season, and when he went down, people were really concerned because they thought like some of the soul of that defense was going to go with him because he was having such a great year. And they're finding a way. Their defense is similar to the Ravens' defense. It's going to give up points no matter what happens, but that offense is just so powerful that they make up the difference.
Yeah,
and I like Gibbs on Detroit.
Yeah,
Gibbs is good.
That dude is nice.
Montgomery too. That dude run hard.
Yeah,
guys, they just have a good team. They have so much balance.
All right, we got the next one. Mike, it's Baker week in San Fran. Baker Mayfield, what do you got going on in that game? It is, of course, San Fran at Tampa. Will they be shooting off the cannon in Tampa?
Well, look, I'm picking San Francisco. I think it's gonna be one of those games that I'll be texting you guys those little throw up emojis early on, like, oh God, here we go. And then as the game wears on, I think San Francisco will start to do what they do and just kind of pull away. I think Baker, he's still throwing interceptions. He's making some rash plays. And then of course not having his weapons, I think that's going to eventually come back to hurt them. I do like their creativity. Like when I watched them play Kansas City, I saw their play calling and I was like, wow, they call some really good plays. They just necessarily don't have the guys to execute like the, Otten, the tight end. They schemed him open. They did a good job of getting him,
he's good,
in space. But it didn't really turn into touchdowns and scoring, but they were really good plays. I mean, they got a good thing going on there, but I'm picking San Fran.
I'm taking San Fran too. It's interesting. These two teams with the 4 wins, and they're actually in the less than the top 10 in statistics for defense and offense. But only Tampa Bay is the worst, though. They're 29th in defense. But they're pretty good. They're 4th in passing and they're 8th in rushing. But listen, man, I just want San Francisco defense to really play lights out against them. I do.
Fantasy.
No, not just fantasy. I'm a big Fred Warner fan. And I've been saying that, man. If Fred gets things going and stuff, man, everybody else starts clicking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So and then Brock Purdy, man, you just hit it like you used to. Like last season, you were nailing players. Like back to Debo. Can Debo stay healthy and stuff? So I'm taking San Fran. I'm taking San Fran with a defensive touchdown to win the game when Baker throws an interception.
Okay, I'll take it. A win's a win.
Bowles is going to bring it. He is.
Todd Bowles.
Yeah. So he's going to bring the pressure. I do think San Francisco is going to have enough. I think it's going to be close. I think if Baker had some weapons, I think it'd be a little different. He just doesn't. I think, like you said, tight end's they're going to have to find creative ways to get him open because they're going to be ready for him, especially because Warner himself could cover him pretty well, if he drops back. So I do like San Fran this one. If Debo actually can do something and get that offense moving forward, McCaffrey, we'll see what he can do. But I don't think they're going to need him. Honestly, I think it's going to be. I think they got it. I think San Francisco is going to get it, and it'll be just a steady game. Like they'll be up by 14 points most of the game. I think the Bucs will keep scoring, but I think it's going to be they just won't catch up in the end.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
All right, and then last but not least, guys, Philadelphia at Dallas. Jerry's going to be up in the box today, Dre.
Yeah.
What's he going to be seeing?
Popcorn. I don't know. Listen, man, Eagles got to get ready, prepare. They have to win this game because it's a divisional game, so they can't go like, bypass it, get ready for Washington on Thursday. I would like to see some work with the secondary, improvement in the secondary. They should be able to do well. We know we got this backup quarterback that we're going to go against. So I think the pass rush, the Georgia Bulldogs and all those guys should really just treat this as a preseason game and get ready for Washington. Like they need to really just put this game away early. That's what I think they should do. Score early, get early, stay ahead, and just get past this team. This team has nothing. Dallas has nothing for the Eagles. So the Eagles are going to win this game.
Yeah, I know who Mike wants to do well, Saquon, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Because he's playing me. But yeah, Saquon is going to be too much for them in Dallas, Mike.
Yeah, I think it's going to be everybody's going to be too much for them.
Yeah, everybody.
It should be. I hate to say it. Last week we were talking. We said, "Oh, it's impossible for the Jaguars to beat the Eagles." And then, sure enough, if Trevor Lawrence had just a bit of accuracy, they probably would have beat him. So, I'm saying again, it's impossible for Dallas to beat the Eagles. But God, if this game is close, I'm going to be like, "What in the heck is going on?" Because this should be a barn burning, whitewash, whatever you want to say. I mean, good God, this should be the Eagles should be able to do to the Cowboys what Detroit did to them. I'm talking like calling plays. I mean, I want to see what's Jordan Mailata,
right?
Lineman
the
going
lineman,
out for a pass, put Jalen in the slot. Let's why not? You know what I'm saying?
Disrespect that defense,
man. Let Saquon throw the ball a couple times. I mean, come on, man.
Right.
This is where you pull out every trick play you got in your playbook just to see what it works or not. I mean, God,
you don't even have to run the tush push in this game. Don't even run it. You don't have to.
Right. I mean, golly, this is your opportunity to like take it to the Cowboys.
Exactly.
Like, all those years of being a pain in the butt, this is like just take it to them.
This is a scrimmage game.
Yeah.
Get ready for Washington.
Yeah, Saquon will be doing a backwards hurdle over in the end zone this game, man. Who knows?
Yeah.
That was insane, man.
That was ridiculous.
And not only that, I was on the radio. You had to hear the announcer for the radio talk about, did I just see what I just saw? Are you telling me that he jumped over him backwards?
Yeah,
right.
Looking? He said, I've been doing broadcasting for 30, 40 years. I've never seen nothing like that before.
Merrill Reese.
Hey, he was cracking me up, man.
Yeah.
I was on the road. I said,
sense that, sense that guy is going to go low to jump backwards like that. It's just amazing. You're supposed to have a helmet on because you really can't really sense.
You can't see.
Your peripheral is kind of like just done. So to know that a guy's going to come in like that backwards and jump over, that was amazing. Dangerous.
He jumped over a 6-foot guy, man, backwards.
Yeah.
So it's like
he was using the force. That was
ridiculous. Yeah. That was some kind of Jedi Knight trick. I don't know what that was, man.
Yeah.
Did you see the Eagles sideline when they did that?
Yeah.
They went nuts, man.
They all passed out.
Yeah.
Like,
that's called living your best life, right? He got out of got out of the Giants' hell, and sure enough, he's like, I am enjoying life here, boy.
Yeah. AJ Brown was like, no, I can't. He just put his hand up. He's like, he started waving his hand. He's like, I can't even do it, man. Like,
yeah.
So, Dre, let's talk about AJ Brown because he's pulling a little bit of a Debo the last couple of weeks. I'm hurt. I'm not hurt. What's going on with AJ?
AJ's being AJ Brown. He had the hamstring injury, right? I don't know, man. Maybe he just didn't want to play that game. Well, no, he did want to play that game. Sorry, I don't know what's up with him. I mean, when it comes off the field, I mean, he's doing all that diva stuff. Like you said, this game here, I think more Smith than AJ Brown just to kind of rest up that hamstring. I mean, I liked him out there. He said he's going to be out there. AJ Brown's going to be out there against Dallas, but get him ready for Washington. And rely more on your other receivers. Well, Smith too. Smith is also number one as well. But I'm just saying,
keeps stepping up every time AJ goes out. Smith has been unbelievable.
Smith's a beast, man. That dude's I call him a knife edge, man. I mean, he's a beast.
Yeah. So well, that's good to see. You needed that from him, especially after the contract extension and all. But you needed him to step up and show that he can be explosive too. So that's good for him.
Yeah, the chat's still in and out, but it's interesting what Hef said. Starting to think they should have parted ways with Dak like we did with Kirk Cousins in Washington. Interesting. And yes, KD, if you're listening, I will pick the Eagles this week, which means they'll probably lose. But yeah. But should the Cowboys have signed Dak to that deal? I'm starting to think they should have parted ways like they did with Kirk. Man, I don't know. It's Dak is not going anywhere. We know that. I think Jerry just tried to. I don't know what Jerry was thinking. To be honest with you, who knows what he's thinking?
It's one of the worst. Well, good for his agent and all that. He got him money, but to me, it's one of the worst ones ever. Like up to Jamarcus Russell. Honestly,
worse than Watson.
Might be worse. No. Yeah, worse than Watson.
No. I can't. No, I can't say that.
Watson, come on,
Watson.
Tao? We're talking the
$230 million. Come on, man. I mean, just
how much was the Tao? Tao was up there, right? Wasn't he 200?
Yeah, there's something million guaranteed. But I mean, you got no production from the Tao. I mean, Dak. Granted, Dak signed his contract, but Dak got a lot of money because they kept doing the franchise tag deal and giving them, paying him a lot of money before they finally gave him a long time deal. So I can't put them two in the same boat.
And another bad deal. Let's not forget Trevor Lawrence just signed a big deal. Now he's hurt.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah.
So there
why
you go,
did we
Dre.
get Micah Parsons on our show?
Yeah, we can get Micah on our show.
This is Micah. I mean, hey,
Mhm.
if you listening, man, we get out there. Come on our show.
Yeah, we'll have you on.
I talked about him last
Yeah.
episode when I was just like, he on the field being a captain instead of podcasting.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, come on.
I still want to get T.O. on our show, guys. We got to work on that. He's not doing it. He's not doing anything. You know.
Let's get T.O. and Donovan together on the same show.
Oh Jesus! Oh my God, man! All right, Mike. I understand you got a little game here. We got about 5 or 10 minutes here. What do you got?
Yeah,
going
real
on?
quick. All right, so you watch those versus battles where they have like two like superstar like hip hop artists or something like that, and they put their creative skits against each other and stuff. Yeah. So I kind of had like a similar idea. So I got a couple, I guess you could say, versus ideas, and you guys just tell me who you think. So right. I'm gonna put Derrick Henry versus Beast Mode Marshawn Lynch.
Oh man. I got to go with Henry. I mean, I like Beast Mode, but Henry is just unstoppable right now, guys.
I go with Beast Mode.
Oh,
honestly,
right.
He's a rival. Beast Mode, man, because once he starts going, he's like a Tasmanian devil tornado going through. And then, like I said, go all the way back to that game, man. I don't know what Seattle was thinking, man. You run that man. I don't care what it is. You run that man. He will get you that touchdown. And Tom Brady only had 6 rings.
Yeah, I think I got to go with Denver Henry, man.
Okay,
Beast Mode was really great, but Henry just so many years of that running style carrying that team. And
don't get me wrong, but I just like Beast Mode.
But both of them, that's why I picked both of them because they're very similar in a lot of ways. Yeah,
that's a good.
I got another close one. OBJ's catch versus Garrett Wilson's catch.
Oh,
I got to go with OBJ only because it was in the Super Bowl. It was the big game. So otherwise,
is that a Super Bowl? I thought
that wasn't Super Bowl. That was regular.
It wasn't. I thought it was a Super Bowl.
Nah, regular game.
I'm thinking the other Giants guy who caught it.
Because you're thinking of David Tyree with the
Tyree. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking Tyree. David Tyree. Yeah.
No, OBJ had the catch. Arms going all the way backwards, and he
got on the Madden cover. Got on the Madden cover. So 2002. So I'm taking Odell Beckham.
Yeah, I'll take Odell. I mean, Wilson.
Wilson catch is sick.
But I'll give him a lot of credit. But OBJ is a good one. Mm-hmm.
I literally thought he detached his arm. Like he literally detached his arm to catch that ball because I thought it was way out of reach. I could not believe it.
Yeah, it was an amazing catch because he was falling back because he caught it and then fell into the end zone on top of that. It really was just like I don't know what was on that glove. I mean, certainly
he had to stretch 10 yards. Literally, he stretched 10 yards, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got another one. This one's kind of a little old school. So I got Dick LeBeau's Steelers defense. That was Troy Polamalu, Joey Porter, James Harrison versus Marvin Lewis's Ravens defense, which was Ed Reed and Saragusa and of course Ray Lewis.
I gotta go Baltimore.
I'm taking Ravens, man.
Yeah, I gotta go Baltimore on that.
Ed Reed, man. Of course, man.
Now let me ask you along the same lines. You put up the Eagles defense with Reggie White, Jerome Brown, all those guys. Jeremiah Trott, all those guys.
I almost picked that as I almost was going to match coordinators and do Dick LeBeau versus Jim Johnson because Jim Johnson that defense also back in the day was ridiculous.
Was that Buddy Ryan? Was that Buddy Ryan?
Was it Buddy Ryan or Jim Johnson? I thought
it was Jimmy Johnson.
Okay,
I thought it was Jim Johnson with the
probably it might have been Johnson. Buddy Ryan was before that. Okay,
Buddy was before that, but I'm going to say, guys, I'm taking the Eagles on that one. Because I remember John Runyon, man, and what's the name? The other guy, the Giants. He's like, man, we gotta go play Eagles today. Like
there was a fear there.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, we gotta play the Eagles today. Oh man, so I
gotta take the Steelers, man. That Blitzburg defense for so many years. I mean, Troy Polamalu was great, man.
Oh
the
yeah,
hair,
sure.
But so is Brian Dawkins. I mean,
yeah. I mean, they both.
Well, no,
I mean,
Ed Reed,
Ed Reed too. They all are.
Yeah, I mean, that's why
Ed Reed, man. But you gotta give Mark. You gotta give Harrison though for that touchdown, that run back. Remember before halftime?
Yeah, the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, man. That was insane. So
Blitzburg was just insane, man. They used to just throw so many different pressures. But yeah, I mean, all those defenses were amazing. That's why I picked them as a versus.
Tough one.
Yeah, I got a couple tough ones, man. I mean, this one you guys are gonna laugh about this one. Jalen Hurts versus Donovan McNabb.
Oh God. Pass. Pass. They're one and the same.
Battle, man. It's not even a contest.
Man.
And what I mean by that, they both suck. Think about the run game.
I got one. This one is gonna be funny. Green Bay Brett Favre versus Green Bay Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh, I like this one.
Oh God. All right, I'll go with Favre.
Yeah, Jermaine's gonna be mad at us.
Yeah.
I'm taking Favre too.
Yeah.
Never forget that Oakland game, man. Horrible his dad passed away and stuff like that, but he was lights out. He was another realm, another dimension when he was throwing touchdowns left and right. That game on Oakland. Yeah, man.
I hope Ron's. Let's hope Ron's listening. So
yeah, I think that's a tough one because Aaron Rodgers has had a lot of magic there. He didn't end, but I mean, he was 2-time MVP when he was with Green Bay, and then some of those comeback games that he has, I just hate it. Seeing it because it was always like in the fourth quarter, if Rodgers had the ball, you probably were going to lose, and Favre kind of had some of that, but I don't know. I think I still take Favre just because of he just kind of predated Aaron Rodgers and kind of made Green Bay kind of what it was a little bit.
Yep.
Wow, what I got? It's a tough one. Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick. Atlanta version Michael Vick.
Michael Vick, man. Michael Vick. I'm sorry, Lamar.
Yeah, I agree. I think Vic just had more control. I think he was more accurate.
I was gonna say that. Yep, more accurate, more control, less turnovers.
Oh wow. Man, it's a tough one. I mean, I think I'll go with Vic. Vic was just so electric, but I mean, Lamar he's done some great stuff, man. I know he has his moments. I know, but yeah, he's really turned into a great product. I think a lot better than what people expected. A couple more I know, and then I'll be finished up. But Bill Belichick and Andy Reid.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with Big Red only because I think Andy's success, not that he doesn't do a good job, I think a lot of it is because of Mahomes. So I think, you could say Belichick, obviously Tom Brady too. So that's either way, man, that's a tough one.
Who's gonna win that battle? I guess you're gonna have to say rings, man. You gotta say Belichick.
I mean, Belichick. Andy couldn't do it in Philly, but he sure did it in Kansas City. So
he is. Yeah, but Belichick, I think will win that. He won that battle against Andy Reid.
Well, he's also got a hotter girlfriend in 27.
Yeah, but
I kind of lean towards Andy Reid. I know Belichick got all the rings, and I think a lot of that's just having the greatest quarterback probably in history. But Andy Reid's kind of done it with two teams of having really good, competent play, and just being able to develop guys. It seemed like anyone who could play for Andy Reid just seems to do well, where it's not really the same for Belichick. As soon as Belichick lost Brady, then all of a sudden he was back to Cleveland Browns Bill Belichick, where they couldn't go nowhere. So I lean to Reid to this. I understand the ring part of it for sure, but I think Andy Reid, I'm going to give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Jackson. I mean, in NBA, Jordan made Phil Jackson the best coach. I mean, come on.
Scottie Pippen?
I'm just saying, though, like how we're going by the rings.
Rodman? Scottie Pippen, Rodman? Yeah, but Jordan.
I got a good one. Backup Joe Flacco versus backup Nick Foles.
Ooh, I like this one.
Black attack.
I'm going with Flacco, man. No. I'm thinking a couple of things. I gotta take Nick Foles. I gotta take the Foles, man. What he did, going into the playoffs after what's the name went out? Wentz went out, and then we had to play Minnesota. We had to play the Rams, right? And then he got us to the Super Bowl, and then of course the Philly special, right? But if you even look at everybody forgot, right? He has the record of 7 touchdowns when he do against Oakland. At the time, it was Oakland Raiders. He threw 7 TDs, Nick Foles, in one game.
Yes, he did.
That's a world record. Joe Flacco.
He threw seven interceptions in one game.
One game.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at Nick Foles, that team played for him. They liked him. They wanted to win for him. He managed that. I think the Eagles, and I think they picked the wrong horse with Wentz and Foles. I think they should have kept Foles. And I'm telling you, who was it, the wide receiver who dropped that ball, or they would have probably went to the Super Bowl again. Jeffrey, Alshon Jeffrey dropped that ball. They probably would have went again.
Alshon Jeffrey.
So you got to give it to, and Foles came in late that game too, and almost came back and won it if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, I remember.
I agree. I'll go with Foles on that.
Yeah, I'll go with Foles. I mean, it's funny just coming off the bench. You just had that guy. You just feel like you're going to win. I got a couple more, and then we'll finish up. Let's see. This one is, I think, will be interesting. Brian Westbrook versus CMC.
Gotta go with CMC. His stats are, CMC for sure on that. Westbrook was good, but he wasn't CMC.
What makes you think so?
Just his overall ability to catch and run. Like Westbrook, his stats are way above Westbrook. It's not even close. And the way he was utilized, Westbrook wasn't utilized as much. Like they relied on CMC a ton. I mean, he played on some bad teams in Carolina. So. Westbrook had some wasn't great teams, but he definitely had teams better than Carolina. So, I'm going CMC on that.
I guess I'm going CMC.
Okay. Yeah, I was leaning towards CMC. I was seeing you guys because I know Brian Westbrook was like a CMC.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I was going to do Saquon and CMC, but I don't think we've seen.
I was just thinking that.
Saquon, to say okay, but I mean they're very close. I mean this season, they might be one. They look one and the same, but they're both amazing players. Let's see. I got Jared Goff versus Matt Stafford.
Pass.
Matthew Stafford only because of Megatron. Megatron, right? They were putting up numbers with Megatron. With Matthew Stafford. I'm taking Stafford.
Yeah.
That's all we have said about Westbrook. I mean,
Westbrook was the man in Madden 08.
Yeah.
I tell you, Westbrook was the guy was good, man. He did a lot.
I do agree. That's why I was like, I was surprised that I took CMC.
Look, I saw Westbrook run circles around people at Villanova, so I get it. I do. So,
All right. What about Travis Kelce versus Ron Gronkowski? Gronk.
Oh, you gotta go with Gronk.
I'm going with Gronk. Yes, Kelce, but Gronk. I'm going with Gronk.
He's a beast. Yeah,
Gronk.
Yeah, but I was looking. They said I think right now Kelce, in terms of rankings, I think Kelce's number 4 and Gronk's 3, and then Tony Gonzalez. And,
I'm about to say, where do you stack up against Gonzalez?
Yeah, I think most people feel Gonzalez is probably the best, and then that was
Antonio Gates or something.
Antonio Gates,
yeah.
That's how I was going to say the guy who would play basketball. Was also high up on the list about those guys.
Yeah, Antonio Gates.
All right, well, this is the last one. This one is AFC versus NFC.
Wow.
Right now, you got to say AFC because of the Chiefs. Who's beating them? Unless Detroit comes out and proves otherwise. Right now, I'd say AFC. Overall, probably NFC, but right now, AFC.
I'm flipping the other way. I'm saying NFC.
Oh, all right. For who? For what?
For who? For what? I just think the NFC is just better right now.
Who's beating the Chiefs the last couple of years? Anybody step up and beat the Chiefs?
That's true.
Besides the Niners, maybe Eagles.
That's true. But if you look at the other, remember if you say a couple of years, Denver was good, right? Pittsburgh was good. Man, there's a couple other teams I'm thinking about that were New England, of course.
Yeah, so that's you mean all AFC teams.
But now I know New England. Pittsburgh's in the hanging in there.
The Jets.
The Jets. I just Denver's. Peyton is trying to rebuild that team. I think the NFC's showing some more explosive. I think somebody else is going to come up next year.
I can see
the
it.
NFC.
All right.
I'm taking NFC for that battle.
All right. I can see it.
Yeah, I'm still leaning towards AFC only because right now, I think still the best quarterback still will live in the AFC versus the NFC. Historically, it's always been NFC used to always dominate for how many years. I mean, it used to be ridiculous. The AFC was just so secondary, but yeah, Tom Brady kind of flipped that around, and then the AFC since has been the cream of the crop, and I think right now they're still on top.
Yeah. Oh, you got a rhyme there too. All right. Cream of the crop, still on top. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, lot going on this week, guys. Great conversations. Hey, we're gonna try this. Are we gonna do this Thursday night, guys? Are we gonna try this watch party? What's happening?
I like to do it. It's up to you guys. I'm game for it.
Yeah, I'm game for it. I think it'd be fun.
All right. It's probably just the first half, right?
At least, yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, see how it goes.
I mean, I'll probably watch the whole game one way or the other, but yeah. Let's get over.
Yeah, I'll have to step away for a little bit, but then I'll be back. So yeah, I'll run the stream. We can run the stream and see how Hef looks like, if he's going to be happy or not.
Well, to beat your past
KD, staying with KD. KD be like, yeah, and Hef like, no. And then Hef, yeah, and KD's like, no.
All right. So for those of you listening, we're going to have a Washington Eagles watch party Thursday night. Yep. So I'm going to have to be upstairs, and so a little bit different background, which is awesome. I like it. So we'll watch that game upstairs. I'll get my pods in, and it should be fun. And then we got a lot coming up next week, guys, if you're going to be around. So a lot of good matchups next week. So keep it on. We just got a bunch of new subscribers too. So we got 61 now. So we appreciate everybody out there.
Keep subscribing, everybody.
I believe the All Dressed Up podcast is on tonight, but if you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. 9:00, of course, All Dressed Up podcast with Hef and KD. You can also catch them Thursday night, as we said, on the watch party that we have going on. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, of course. And if you want to make some comments to us directly, you can do Enough Said, of course, at gmail.com. enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com. And shout out to Jermaine, who could not be here today. Hope that his son's game goes well. So we'll keep posted on that. So shout out to Jermaine, and shout out to Dre. Happy birthday. But we'll see him one more time before his birthday next week. So we'll give him more harassment next week. So.
Yeah, real quick. This one's for Jermaine because he could be on the game. But Ron Dane versus Jermaine.
I like it. That's the best one yet.
Back at the high school battle. It's called high school battle.
We gotta find Ron Dane and get him on the show. We gotta find him, man. We gotta see where he is. I know he's around. So I'm gonna look him up. We gotta find him. So. Yep. But all right, everybody, have a great week. Enjoy the games, and it's week 10. See y'all later.
Peace out, everybody.
All right.